Hey there, my name's Jason Eckert, and my friend next to me is Trevor McGregor, and we were asked by Tarek to record this short video for you with regards to accountability partnerships. I'll give you a little background as to who Trevor and I are and how we know Tarek, our connection to Tarek. And it started in 2009 in a class taught by the one and only John Ashraf, and that class was the Having It All Challenge. And within that class was Tarek, Trevor, and I. And John asked us a very similar question that I think he's asking you, which is to get yourself an accountability partner. So, and Trevor and I started out as accountability partners within that class. And so, Trev, why don't you start with how we connected and how the benefits of accountability partnerships work?
Well, sure, Jay. As you know, we were both looking to take our lives to the next level in several areas. Certainly in money, certainly in our health, certainly in our relationships, career, even our spirituality. And as you're on that path and you're trying to find yourself and find out where you're going to go, it certainly helps to have somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can confide in and take the journey with you rather than doing it alone. And that's what John suggested we do, and basically that's how we hooked up.
Yep. So what I thought we'd do today is we just give you like 5 tips or 5 ideas to how to get started, how to basically how to connect with somebody within your community, and how to track down a accountability partner that you resonate with and that can help you reach the next goals or whatever it is you're looking to get from that person. So I'm going to start with tip number 1, and this is in the very first class we ever had with John. This is something that he said, and it's stuck with me to this day. And I go back to it all the time because it's something that really is important to think about and to do every day. And tip number 1 is get comfortable being uncomfortable. So Trev, can you explain a little bit about that?
Absolutely. You know, there's no night without day. There's no growth without, struggling a little bit and going deep and digging and, being able to take yourself from where you are now, take a few steps backwards, even though it feels painful or feels anxious. In order to move forward, you've got to really find a way to not fear moving forward. And that's not what I mean by that is not feel the fear, and you got to break through it and do it anyway. So that's how I'd speak to that.
Yeah, and so for me, it was just the fact that sometimes you're like, boy, I don't want to make a phone call. I don't want to call somebody I don't know or reach out or send them an email saying, hey, can you help me achieve my, there's a lot of uncomfortable feelings when you're trying to talk to someone you don't really know all that well and to express yourself. And so for me, it was just getting past that and saying, you know what, here's a man who's been there, done that, and who is asking me to take this challenge on, and I'm going to do it. So I kept repeating that to myself every day. So tip number 2 this is a big one, is being honest. So when you make that first phone call, maybe you don't want to lay all your cards on the table the very first time, but when you're communicating with someone, the more honest you are, the easier it is for them to see where you are and where you want to get to, and then they can help you either push you to move a certain direction or maybe say, hey, well, you should maybe look at this direction. Can you speak to that one too, Trev, on honesty?
Absolutely. You know what, Jay, in this journey, we all have very, very similar problems and issues, and we think that maybe our accountability partner will think that we're weird or we're different or that something, is embarrassing, but that's not true. And I think that when we got together as accountability partners, I think the more honest we were with each other, the better the results. Or what it did is it allowed us to open up and feel out different options that we could take, because you're not alone in what your thought process are. You could say, hey, my accountability partner's having a very similar issue to me, and now we can brainstorm and come up with the best possible avenue to go from where we're at.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, and I think a lot of times you always think to yourself, like, boy, I'm the only one who's ever been in this situation, but it's not true. No. People from all over, everyone throughout the whole world experiences very similar feelings and very similar struggles. So it's a really key point. You have to be honest with the person you're dealing with. And then number 3, this is perfect because we're utilizing it right now. Tip number 3 is utilize technology. So Trevor, you live in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I know that's actually very close. But the fact of the matter is we live in different countries, and we're able to communicate all the time via this great technology called Skype. I can talk to Tarek in Trinidad and Tobago, which I do. I can talk to another one of my accountability partners, Michael Schmidlin, who's in Colorado, and it's just it opens the door, it blows the door off of the shrinking world that we live in as far as communication is concerned.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of this whole event is you don't need somebody that's in the same city as you or the same town or even the same state. It's a fact. Jason and I live in different countries, and yet through daily Skypes or Skyping every few days, we're able to get across what we need to each other clearly and state how our day is going, what our successes for the day have been, what our failures have been for that day, and just kind of where we're at. And technology has made this whole accountability thing very, very easy. We should be very pleased to have it.
Yeah, and so that's another great point too. Is don't allow proximity to where you are to the other person dictate whether you're going to reach out to them or not. If you have a feeling within the community that you like that, or that you think that person could help you, then maybe you live in Kentucky and they live in India. It doesn't matter. Reach out to them. This service cost me, I think, $250 a month or something, and I'm able to communicate with people that have the same service as many times as I want during the week and the month or the year. It's a great service. So tip number 4 is eliminating self-doubt. So this was my experience, and still to this point I struggle with it. Is that so? I'll communicate. The very first time I called Trevor, had a great phone call. Was like, man, I got an accountability partner. Things are going to start turning around for me. And then as that week went by, we make a set date every Monday. We call each other at 8 p.m. regardless of what's going on, and we basically talk for at least an hour. Usually the phone conversations can last longer, but we set a time limit for an hour, and we just kind of go through where we are, what we need to work on, things like that. But I remember the very first time I got off the phone, I was like, man, that was great. And then sure enough, 6 days later, the day before or the day of, I was thinking, how can I get out of this phone call? Like, I don't need this anymore. And it's essentially my ego was telling me, is like, hey, you've done it. Like, protect yourself. You don't need to do this anymore. Move forward. Go back to your old ways. Get lazy. Do the things you used to do that weren't working. Right, Trev?
Absolutely. You know what? We can't be up here all the time. Sometimes we're here. Sometimes we're here. And self-doubt is one of those things that you just gotta, you gotta stop, and you gotta believe in yourself and believe that your accountability partner and you are going to help each other. And so whenever you face that time where you're struggling and you just don't feel like making the call or pushing the send button on the email, that's the time you really need to pick up the phone or really hit the send button and communicate with your accountability partner like you mean it. It's kind of like a marriage, it's not like a husband and wife marriage, but it's, for Jason and I, it's an opportunity for two guys who are pretty much on the same journey. We want the same things. We want to be happy. We want to be fulfilled. We want to make a good living. We want to make sure that what we're trading our time for each and every day fulfills us and helps the world. So yeah, we all have goals, dreams, and aspirations, but it's easy to get knocked down one day and not pick yourself up off the floor. But that's the time to really, really believe in yourself and get on the phone or get on the email and make it happen.
Great. That's a great comment. All right, so tip number 5, the last one, is to take action. And this is the biggie. I mean, I've heard John say it 1,000 times. If you could meditate on your sofa all you want, but they'll be taking your sofa away if you don't ever take action. So taking action is a huge thing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's number 1. So for those of you that don't have an accountability partner, I urge you, you've got a ton of like-minded people that are in this community. And with Tarek's assistance and John's assistance, you can find someone. There is someone out there that's resonating on the same frequency as you. They're looking for an accountability partner like you are. So one of you is going to have to initiate. That means one of you has got to take action and invite. And Jay, maybe you can talk about even the fact that when we got together, I wasn't your absolute first invite to the accountability partnership, was it?
No, that's a great point. So I took action, called someone that I thought would, like, this is going to work out, hung up the phone after, it was a good conversation, but we were at 2 different places, and I felt as low as I've ever felt and thought, well, that's it. I tried it. I'm not going to do it again, but I kept plugging forward. I kept taking action. I reached out to you. You were next,
yep.
And I just I struck gold, and that was and so my life's changed dramatically in the last 2 years because of this relationship and because of the relationship I have with Tarek and other people within the community that I still communicate with. It's just been a huge benefit.
And by taking that action and Jason and I communicating for that very first time, we're now into our 3rd year of our accountability partnership. And it's not only been, over the phone and via email. We have actually gotten together on multiple occasions, both down in Seattle, down in California. We've gone to events together. And we've had a little recreation time together. So it's not always business. It's actual fun. We have a ton of laughs. Some nights we have some, we end up in tears, sharing stories with each other and just making connections, in our brains that need to come together. So it's a lot of fun. And again, taking action is the thing that's going to get you there.
All right, well said. So there's the 5 tips that we've used to success, and I think really the biggest thing is the fact that you're in this community and you're watching this video. You are taking action. So take it to the next level and just reach out to one person today. And just say, hey, my name's so-and-so, and I'd like to, maybe use you as an accountability partnership. Or maybe we could just start a dialogue as to helping me achieve my goals, and I can help you. And that's one last point, is that you might not think you have anything to offer to that person, but everyone has something to offer to somebody else. So with that said, Trev, do you have any final thoughts, any final words?
No, just have fun with it. Again, life is a journey, and it's meant to be lived at the highest level. So if you can put some effort into it today, you'll reap the fruit from the tree down the road. And for a fact, Jason and I are accountability partners, but in all honesty, we're good friends now, and we're even business partners. This accountability partnership that's turned into a friendship has now turned into a lucrative business partnership. And we're doing something that you might find interesting. You can always check it out. It's called What Is Your Why? Check it out at www.whatisyourwhy.com. And if you want to follow Jason and I and what we're doing, we'd love to see you there.
Yeah, send us a message, and if you have any questions or any thoughts you want to send our way, feel free to email us. And you can find the emails on that website. All right, so with that said, take care and have a great day. Thank you so much.
All the best. Thank you.